so close, and it's a bit tough to take at the moment, to be honest. But at the same time, we have to be proud of what we've done and how far we've come, and small margins that decides it.
We feel aggrieved at the goal because it's a clear handball. We're all a bit confused what handball is and isn't. That's fair to say. There's a debate every week about handball, but that one for me is clearly diverts the ball past target into the line of his run and then leads to a goal. You know, we see a walk over that screen and we know what's going to happen. They're just going to go along with what's happened in this occasion. He doesn't. With the one I don't know how many there is this season. I think there's been 2 turned around, and that one's turned around. Say Louis.
First of all, congratulate Manchester City for the trophy. They've been unbelievable. We tried with all the enthusiasm, energy that we had, and we came really close. You have to earn the right to win it, but it didn't happen because another team was better. So mixed emotions today.
Yeah, nice words. Arsenal got the win that they needed, albeit with a little bit of controversy. Imagine if that had been the goal that won them the Premier League. There'd have been a few complaints, I think.
Well, he was sent to the screen by VAR, Michael Oliver. You can see there that Tarkowski goes in with Jesus, and it does hit his arm. But I wish more referees had done this season when they've been sent to the screen and then had the courage to stick by their original decision, because he's not the goal scorer. Yeah. It's not deliberate handball. His arm is tucked right down. So I think it was the correct decision from Michael Oliver to stick with his decision. I know it was a little bit of luck how it got to Havertz anyway, and he stuck it away, but it was the right decision in my opinion.
It's a strange thing, though. If it had been 2 yards out and that had been exactly the same and gone in, they disallow it. Yeah. How can you have handball for one thing and not for the other?
Handball law's a mess.
The law's a mess. It's nothing to do with...
Yeah, that was the right decision, I think.
Not to be, Ian, so close for Arsenal. Mm-hmm. I suppose there were no twists in this particular game, but if there was one, it was possibly Son's miss, who'll now be even more of a hero for Tottenham fans forever, I would imagine.
Honestly, you couldn't have asked for a better person. When he's going through, I'm thinking, oh my God, this is it. And the more I watched it, you could see how far away he's standing, foot was from the ball. He kind of rushed. Look at it here, look. He rushed it, didn't get a good connection. I was thinking, it's only once that chance went up, like that's how Pep was. That's how I was like in my front room, because I was thinking, oh my gosh, that was it right there. That was the title right there.
Yeah, indeed.
Fine margins.
Yeah, it's hard to compete with City because they demolish teams all the way, and particularly at the closing stages of a season. But I suppose perhaps the Villa game was where it was lost.
Probably,
if that's the right way of saying it.
That's the one because it's so recent as well. And it was the one where you're right in the smack bang in the running now. You're at home. You know, yes, Villa are dangerous. You can see there's a couple of mistakes in that goal. The same with that, trying to pass the ball into an area where it wasn't really on. And then you're looking at Emil Smith-Rowe chasing him down. I think by this time they're really stretched, desperate, trying to win that game. And Villa, to be honest, on the day were very good.
Was it not this game, Brighty? No,
no, this is the game where the ball was out for a start.
Oh right, okay.
That was, and then he pushes him in the back there.
Yeah,
and then
that could have cost. Yeah, that cost us as well. Yeah, look at the ball's out.
Never out.
But the thing is, when you look back at it, is that what you're going to have to try and do to try and chase down City. We've seen Liverpool do it. And Arsenal, you nearly have to be perfect. There's going to be points you're going to drop, and we've dropped them in those games, but, they progress.
Progression, though.
Absolutely.
They're going in the right direction under Arteta, aren't they?
Yes. When you look at 2019, I think it's 59 points, and then you look 5 years later, it's 89 points, chasing down Liverpool, chasing down City.
How do they beat City? Do they need a striker, do you think, like someone that can score 25 goals a season?
Well,
He scored 91 goals, though, so it's not bad.
Yes, I don't know if that's the major priority right now when you're looking at the goals that we've scored this season. But, I think whatever Mikel and Edu do is going to be it's going to be positive for the team. When we signed Kai, everybody went crazy. When we brought in David Raya, it went crazy. But he's trying to close these margins. So if he feels he's a striker...
I think Arsenal will be very proud at their performance, the way they've pushed one of, if not the greatest team and manager, all the way to the final day of this season. I think they can be proud of their season and how they're improving.
Yeah,
The year in the Premier League this season, how much better can it get?
Not much better. I think, things are going my way at the moment, and I want to continue working hard. There's so many things I can improve, and I just want to keep going now. We've still got one more final to go.
The story's not West Ham or David Moyes. The story is Man City, and rightly so. They've been a brilliant team all year. They missed chances today at times, but they scored some as well. So really the bit for me was that we had...
Look how difficult it is to win one Premier League trophy. This club has done it 4 years in a row. That's people don't understand how good this is, how incredible achievement this is. So yeah, all praise to the whole club. It's really incredible. It's been a long season, so now it's time to celebrate.
He's quite a perfectionist, isn't he, the coach?
Yeah, of course, but if you want to win trophies, I think you have to be like that. And he's the one that pushes us every game, and that makes us also top players, I think.
And after the match, I spoke to Pep Guardiola. Pep, thank you for joining us. Congratulations, 4 consecutive titles, the first team in top-flight history to achieve that feat. It's truly remarkable. Probably heard that in about 50 interviews that you've done so far. But it must be something special.
Yeah, it is, for the fact that they won it again. Now is our time, so we can sit in their tables. In the history in this country, for them, for Liverpool fans, always have been the best. For Sir Alex Ferguson fans, always United have been the best, and I'm pretty sure for our fans, we have been the best.
Well, I can tell you what's next, Pep, and that's an FA Cup final where you can be the first team ever to win consecutive back-to-back League and FA Cup doubles.
Good reason to try it. Now we are tired, but we are really pleased and really happy with. After travel, always you think, okay, the job is done, but we find something inside to ourselves that say, wow, why don't try it again? Why don't try it again?
And for yourself, Pep, how do you keep going? Because there's an extraordinary amount of energy that you need for this particular job. We've seen Jurgen Klopp, of course, he's had his final game today. He said he was exhausted. How long do you think you can keep doing this for?
Well, I'm really happy here. People take care of me really, really well. They give me everything what they need, not just in terms of exceptional football players for many years. Behind there are incredible structure that we drive each other for the next step. And I feel fine. I want to continue next season, but the reality, I'm closer to say bye-bye than stay 7 more years. So next season, during the season, we will talk and we decide what is the best for everyone. But right now, I'm exhausted, I'm tired, but in the same time, I'm happy, I'm fine.
Good, I'm glad you're happy, Pep. And a word on your players, your squad. How proud of them are you?
I don't know what happened. We start the season, we start to live together in a good mood. The players are, maybe it's one of the best, or maybe the best group of human. I'm thinking, I land here in UK from the universe, and Pep, in the next 7 seasons, you have to win 6. I would say, are you crazy? So this is not going to happen. We did happen, so we made happen. It's like a mountain I don't want to climb. I don't want to climb again. But Arsenal push us in our limits again, what happened before with Jurgen. And we got the message. So we got the message. So from Mikel. So Arsenal is here and will stay here for many, many years. And still we were able for our resilience to beat them.
Pep, many congratulations once again. Amazing achievement. Go and enjoy the night.
Thank you, Gary.
Yeah, what a season again for Manchester City. There they are alongside Huddersfield, Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester United twice. Go one ahead of them. A remarkable achievement. They're so good.
Unbelievable.
They're so
good. The standard they set, the performances week after week after week, year after year, to keep going again when other teams are trying almost everything to get back to them. To keep performing at the level they do, his players and Pep, because he's the one that has to motivate them and keep them going. It's a remarkable achievement. Played some unbelievable football.
Certainly did. The Footballer of the Year, once again, played his part in.
Yes, he was fantastic today, Phil Foden. Very, very difficult to pick up he was, but I think that the form he's in, you couldn't pick him up anyway. In this, you see, Ward-Prowse, it's too late. It's too late the way he's playing. You have to be tighter on him than that, because look at it, there's hardly any backlift in that, and that just like settled everything down. But his movement, his between the lines, when you get all his touches, he's running off the ball. This is great play from Doku because he just picks him out in the middle there. No one's picked him up there. He's around 3 people. Still, I suppose when you're playing in this kind of purple patch, sometimes you don't even need to make a run. It just comes to you. But this is one of those situations again. Too much time and space. Not a lot of backlift, and bam, beats Pickford on his near post. This is a beautiful one. Beautiful. There it is again.
It was similar, wasn't it?
Yes. This one's the best one because like he lost the ball, he had the and then once he got it back again, he just placed that in there beautifully. But this is the form. This is how we want to see this man playing. This is what you're hoping you're going to see from England.
Yeah. In that 10. He's unplayable at times.
Yeah.
He's
the way he takes you on the half term for that
19 Premier League goals
in 33 starts.
6 of them outside the box as well. It gives you
brilliant.
6 titles at age 23.
He's magnificent. He's magnificent.
Unbelievable.
We had from Pep there, didn't we, saying that he's close to leaving than doing another 7 years. So you can read perhaps that's maybe possibly 3 years. Contract's up at the end of next year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it would be remarkable if he kept going and going because he's had 2 patches where he's taken time out before.
Yeah, and you understand that. And we saw what Jurgen has done because you know how difficult the job is and the pressure that you're under and the toll that it has on you as an individual. But whilst he's winning, I mean, everyone else will be wishing he was gone. But whilst he's winning, then he's here to stay for a bit longer.
12 titles in his 15 years as a manager. It is.
Look at Kyle.
Brilliant scenes. Pep talked about the incredible structure at the club.
Yes.
But they still have the 115 charges hanging over them. Does that take anything away from the achievements of these players?
Not for these players, no, because they have to go out, and it's not their fault.
No,
they just go out and they've got to perform on the football pitch. The club will have to answer those charges, but those players have been superb, and you can't take anything away from the players what they've achieved.
I think it's unfair, the uncertainty that comes around. It's unfair on the legacy that these players are building. And I was watching them again in that trebles, and you watched in that treble documentary, and you watch them, and the drive and the determination to try and do what they've done is unbelievable. And it's unfair that they've got all this wrapped around them. So the sooner that they can get that resolved, the better for
one way or the other, for everybody, really.
Absolutely.
Time
for the 4th season in a row. So much positivity in the air. Does that reaction from the supporters here, Rio, just validate everything that Mikel Arteta is trying to do here?
Yeah, this was a club, I think, lacking in belief. Any ideas of where they were going for a long period of time, and I think he's brought a lot of that back. He's stabilised his play. He's helped play a huge part in that. And he's got the fan base completely believing, completely aligned to the objectives that are set ahead. Yes, they've not hit some of the targets that they would have wanted this season, but I think they've conceded as a progression with this football club that they want to stay by. One of the youngest squads built in this team in this Premier League at the moment, so they're not going anywhere. This team is going to grow and grow. They're going to have to add pieces to it still to improve it, but you can tell there's a belief in this stadium now. You walk around London, around the country, Arsenal fans have got a spring in their step. They're having a banter now where they would have butted a banter before. And that's a big shift and a big change now. So I think they're going in the right place. The Arsenal fans, I think, can be very pleased with where they are. Yes, disappointed today, but when the dust settles, I think they're going in the right direction.
What did you think of what he said to the supporters, Martin, thanking them for believing in them and actually being patient and seeing what they're trying to do here?
Yes, and he also said don't be satisfied with what they've achieved today. Be happy, but keep striving for more. And I think that's the message, because that's what he'll take his break. He said he's going to reflect. He'll come back even stronger. I think he's got that DNA. Look, he was with Pep, wasn't he, for a few years. He's learned a lot there. He knows how his life is. He'll be the same. He'll be working hard on players that will be coming into the club and other areas that he can maybe change things to improve players, to get the best from them. But for now, I mean, I think Arsenal have come a hell of a long way. And for me, it's about behaviour, about the culture, the way people are. I think now we have special people back at the helm, and that's really important. The rest will follow. I can sincerely hope now the silverwork is able to follow. Now we've got the right people in the building.
That's what they need. Great performances, consistency on an elite level here at the club. But it all will be pale into insignificance if in 4 or 5 years, maybe at the end of Mikel Arteta's tenure that they haven't got the big trophies here. They need to produce trophies to go alongside what they're building right now.
How long do you think it will last, the patience there?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question. How long are the hierarchy going to allow for this to be the case? If Pep stays and he's here for another 2 or 3 years, it's going to take a huge effort we've never seen before to get over the line before Man City to win the Premier League. So I don't know how long that it lasts, being a good second-place runner-up, and how long you last doing that, but he couldn't put this place in a better place now, considering where he came in and where they were at that time. This club was in disarray.
You have to build it. It takes time. That sort of Arsenal-ness in a player. Sometimes it comes from disappointment, sometimes victory. Let's hope those victories and trophies are not too far away.
How important was it that they got the win today, Martin, as well? Kai Havertz with the goal. There was a bit of a VAR intervention, but unusually the referee let the goal stand after going to the monitor.
And well done, Mikel Oliver, because rarely we see referees do that in that situation. Element of luck, look, fresh air shot there from Odegaard, and then they put the ball away. I mean, they had lots of opportunities. Didn't seem to have the cutting edge today. Arsenal in front of goal, Odegaard there, and then it's just a tap. Pleased for Havertz, particularly. I think that's his 20th goal involvement this season, and I think he's only the 5th player to do that on his debut season. So remarkable from Havertz. Mikel Oliver, fair play to him. I didn't think I'd see a referee do that at any point, and I think he was right.
I think that the character, by the way, of someone at Havertz, I think he was asked, a lot of questions were asked on him. I think there was a lot of people that were negative around him, but he has answered that, and he showed great strength of character, mindset. There's a steeliness beneath what he's kind of lacklustre sometimes, the way languid appearance that he comes with, and he's been fantastic for this team. They've been able to rely upon him. Oh, we need a number 9. We need an out-and-out number 9 to get goals. He said, no. Come, I'm the guy.
He doesn't give much away, Rio, does he, in his appearance, his body language. But we had a really good chat with him, and I got it as soon as I spoke to him. And sometimes we can be critical in the media before we really know the person, and I think he's bonded with the players. I think he came from a Chelsea situation. He was scored the winning goal in the Champions League final. Was almost like turfed out of that club. Difficult situation in the dressing room. He's come here and he's found a warmth in the dressing room, and he's responded to it. And he's now a really key player for Arsenal.
And it's credit to the recruitment as well, Rio, because let's be honest, at the start there was a lot of people saying it's a waste of money.
Yeah, 100%. And what I loved about this as well, he did have a couple of sticky moments at the beginning, but the way Mikel Arteta backed him publicly, obviously also behind closed doors, means that gives him the platform, the foundations to go and produce what he's produced in the latter stages of this season. So again, recruitment great, but then picking people up from in terms of confidence-wise, that is what managers do, good managers do.
I think these are difficult moments, and because you're not really sure how you're supposed to behave, because you haven't won a trophy, but you're getting a warmth from the fans, and this is like this. You build this for the future. It's like, okay, look at the fans. They were brilliant with us last year. We need to do more for them. We need to change this story at Arsenal, and I think, look, Odegaard there, the manager. You see all of that closeness. These are key players, and they're good. Hopefully. I say hopefully, I want them to win like we did.
Is it that striker that could be the difference then, Rio? Because they've had the best defence in the league, the best record against the top 6. They've got 89 points, which won the title last season. Is it that 20-plus goal a season striker in the league, which they don't have? Saka, the top scorer.
Maybe. I mean, these are some of the missed chances in the game, but that could be an element of that, where you go and get someone like a Haaland, who's been the difference for City in terms of getting them over the line to win the treble, to get the Champions League, the one that was been the trophy that was so elusive. But was it a 20 goal a season man that didn't enable them to get past Aston Villa a few weeks back? Was it that player that they needed for that game? I don't know. I think that's the job of this club now, to unpick those moments and where they can improve and where the recruitment will be so invaluable for this team.
It was very interesting after the mid-season break, when everyone was the narrative was, they need a new striker. And then they went away, worked on it, and they found a way to be successful from the players they have right now. And they're scoring goals from all manner of positions. This is kind of Man City 2 years ago, where they don't really need a front player per se. But I think he needs maybe someone, that tool in the box, that player with a bit more pace in that direct position, when sometimes when you can't break down teams, an individual does something remarkable.
It'll be really interesting to see the conversations that Mikel Arteta and his management team will be having with the players to build them again, to rebuild them for next season. How are they going to navigate the end of this season and all of the time they have? Yes, some will go to the Euros, but there'll be some who won't be on beaches. That's a great point there. Keep the faith. Yes, trust the process. But how do you now re-engage them again? Like, we can do this. When you've got a manager sending messages out, you need trophies to come with that to reinforce the message as well. They need that to come and follow.
And it is draining competing against this Manchester City side. We will be seeing the trophy lift as well from the Etihad when we come back. And we'll also hear from Mikel Arteta.
Not the outcome you wanted after what's been an amazing season. How proud are you of your team, though?
Yeah, I'm very proud. First of all, congratulate Manchester City. They are the champions. They've been incredible since December. We have tried with everything that we had. Obviously, you can sense how much we wanted it. We really tried. I think we improved a lot. But it wasn't enough, unfortunately.
The 89 points that you achieved this season is what Man City got last year. You've improved on your total. How does it feel to know that you have pushed that Man City team all the way to the final day?
Yeah, it feels good because success cannot only be measured by comparing to somebody else. We need to understand what we are doing, what we've done in the past. We beat every record that this club have ever had, apart from winning it. You know, with normally you should be able to do that, but as well, it's the context that we are in. This is the most competitive league ever in the history, and we have to be better, and now we have to find ways how we're going to improve.
We've just seen you all on the pitch with your family and friends. Does that just bring it home, just how much you've achieved this season and the emotion of it all as well?
Well, they are instrumental. Without all of them, we cannot have the dedication and the passion that we have every single day. They are right next to us. In my personal situation is the most important thing in my life, but every time I go to work becomes the most important thing. But yeah, thank you to all of them, the staff as well, because they've been unbelievable.
These fans at the Emirates must also feel like family to you, Mikel. What was it like for you to hear them singing your name despite not getting the trophy that they really wanted to see you lift?
Yeah, that's the most fulfilling thing, I think. One of the dreams that I had when I joined it was to reconnect everybody, to really bring this place to a different level. Generate hope, start to dream big, and we are in that journey right now. And I feel sad because I really wanted to deliver that trophy today because it would have meant the world to them. But we are closer, that's for sure.
When you addressed the fans, you said to them, don't be satisfied. Does that now need to be the message, to stay hungry, and the same message that goes to your team going into the next campaign as well? Now
we have to be more determined, very courageous, very ambitious, and we need to go to a different level. And they are demanding that. I can feel it, and we need to deliver that now.
Once you've had time to properly reflect on what you've achieved this season, how do you think you're going to look back at it?
Hopefully that will happen while I'm in a beautiful beach next to my family in a nice weather. And I don't know, probably I will refrain by saying thank you so much, because all these people that are here help us and helps me so much every single day, and they deserve that credit.
Enjoy the break, and we look forward to seeing you go again.
Thank you.
And there is Rio as well, already checking out from our coverage here as well, coaching the kids there, Rio.
No, there's under eights playing behind us. It's like we're just talking to be a kid to come on this pitch here, to play on a professional pitch. This is dreamland, and these kids are living it out. You can feel the energy off that pitch there. I had to go and take it in a little bit.
They look really good as well. Do you think they beat Man United?
Right, Lindsay, you've been with me all the time today. It's not fair. It's not right, OK? It's hard enough looking at the league table.
Is eighth just about right? Is that a fair reflection of the season, do you think? Just a quick one on Man United, while I can.
Yeah, it probably is, yeah, if you're being honest. I think Manchester United have underperformed, underachieved this season. They have the glimmer of hope in the FA Cup final, where my heart is saying, please, yes, hopefully we would get something out of it and we win that. But my head is saying, listen, what you're playing against is a juggernaut, and we're nowhere near the level that they're at. So, yeah.
Did you even want Conference League? If you're honest.
You get what you're given. You've earned the right to play in whatever you get, wherever you finish. If Manchester United finish in that, you can't be disrespectful and dismiss that. You've got to go and do what you've got to do.
Martin, Mikel Arteta talking about having that holiday. You can tell he's already plotting how they come back stronger next season, though. You both know what it's like to be on the wrong end of a day like this. You especially, Martin. It's happened a few times to you, hasn't it?
Yeah, it does, and you learn a lot about yourself. Of course, when you win, it's lovely, isn't it? You celebrate. It doesn't change you as a person. Doesn't make you any different. Just kind of keeps people quiet, shuts out the noise. But when you come second, 3 years on the trot, we won the league in '98. Through to 2002, we were second to Manchester United. We were accused of being kind of second best, but we had to find a way to win. We had to kind of get out of that comfort zone, and we came back really strong.
When you finish second like that, Martin, and a couple of times, obviously twice now they finished second on the bounce. You've done that, obviously. When you go away in the summer, what tools could you pass on to this group of players that will get you back up to be able to go on and compete again and try and win?
I think it's one of those that you don't really rest until you win again. It just eats away at you, and you've got to try and find a way to be successful. But you need strong resolve. You need determination. That's like out of the ashes often comes, the phoenix rises out of the ashes. It has to be that kind of attitude, and it has to say, "Oh, this can't happen again." Why are we coming second best? But obviously, realism, what we're up against.
What was Arsene saying then? What would have been he messaging from Arsene Wenger and his staff?
Keep believing. We keep believing, we keep it simple. We've lost personnel. When you lose, like you tasted Anelka and how good they were on Overmars, it hurts us even more. And then it's about building. Somebody called Thierry Henry turned up in the building, and it all went to another level. But we have to get the best from each other. That's why I like now the culture is here, and I can see this is a great environment. And what player wouldn't want to join Arsenal right now? Rio's talking about Manchester United. That's the start of something at the beginning. I don't think it'd be too far away, but they're a long way behind Arsenal right now.
When you lose it on the final day, though, Rio, as you know all too well, one of the most dramatic finishes to a season ever, how long does it take to get over that?
Well, I'm still not over it now, Lindsay. I've got to be honest. You mention it now, and it does rile me, I swear to you. And there's moments in my life since that day where I'm having a great day, or just chiggering along in a day, and then all of a sudden, bang, it comes into my mindset, and it does rock you a little bit. So it never leaves you. I mean, it was different circumstances than today. It wasn't like we finished the game, the final whistle of our game, we had one hand on the trophy, basically saying that we'd won it at that point. And then obviously the moment happens, and it changes it completely. So it's unfortunate, but you've got to live with those moments. And also, again, we came back from that and we won. We managed to pick ourselves up, and you got to do that. But look at this. This is a great moment here. Look for the young kids, Saka and the young players. They're all aspiring to be the next star boy at this football club.
How big a miss was he today?
Yeah, I mean, Bukayo is a fantastic. I mean, listen, what a role model. I was telling him what a role model you are. I didn't see that. He's so young, he doesn't even know he's a role model. But he's come through the ranks. Everybody wants to do what he's done now. He keeps on raising the bar. He's a wonderful kid. Sets a great example. It's not gone to his head. Sometimes, the academies we have now, it's very difficult to stay level-headed and not to get too above yourself. And he's certainly a great advert for the way he carries himself.
Before I say anything else that upsets Rio today, let's hear from the captain. Martin Odegaard is with Jules.
What a season you've had. It's obviously not ended the way you'd have liked it to. But how do you sum up your emotions? Now you've had around 40 minutes since that final whistle went.
Yeah, still disappointed, to be honest. Yeah, we had the big dream, and we were so close. Such a tight race, so yeah, small margins, and yeah, so close. So it's a bit tough to take at the moment, but at the same time we have to be proud of the season we've done and the progress, and all the steps we're taking. So yeah, mixed emotions.
I imagine. Talk us through the flow of the game today, because you went behind, you managed to come back into it at half-time. Did you talk about what was happening in Manchester when you were in the dressing room? What did you know about what was going on?
No, we didn't speak about it. I think the only thing we realized was in the first half when they celebrated, and we knew that something happened in that game. So, but we didn't know the result, and I think it was just in the end they told us it was 3. So yeah, then it looked hard,
We know that this Manchester City side are doing things we've never seen happen in the Premier League. They created history today. How does it feel for you as a team to know that your team have pushed them this close and taken it to the final day?
Yeah, I think we have to be proud, If you look at what they did last year, they won everything. And then, yeah, to be there this year again and to fight and to push until the last day. I think it's been a while since we had this situation at the club. So we have to be proud. And at the same time, I think we have to use the disappointment again to come back even stronger and even more prepared. And then hopefully in the end, we're going to do something really, really good, and I'm sure it's just a matter of time.
Is that what this season has done for you all? Has it given you even more confidence and belief that you can come back next year and go again and maybe go one step further?
Yeah, definitely. I think we've taken good steps, every season. first we missed out of the Champions League, we came back and we were close to winning, and now even more close. So as I said, I think it's just a matter of time for this team that we're going to win something really big. We're a young team still, so we're just going to get better and better, and yeah, I'm sure we're going to come back even more hungry and bounce back again.
And as the captain, just one final message to these Arsenal fans that have supported you throughout the whole campaign.
Yeah, unbelievable. I've said it so many times, you know, the support we had and have had the whole season, and yeah, just want to say thank you. Keep believing, keep pushing us, and then we will do everything we can to pay back with a trophy in a short time.
Well, I know this isn't the trophy that you want today, Martin, but you are, on the final day of this amazing Premier League season, the player of the match. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Martin Odegaard there. As you can see, I've lost Martin and Rio to the kids' game behind me. Definite end of season vibes here today. It's like the end of the school term. So let's go now and hear from Sean Dyche, who has been speaking to Alex Aujo.
Sean, a disappointing defeat for your side today. What did you make of their performance?
I thought we've had a real go. Difficult for us because our work's done really in the season. Quite happy with the performance. Actually, not easy to come down here. Referee's decision changes the game. I couldn't believe it myself, but anyway, felt like one of them games they were getting a lot, so they're probably going to get that, which they did.
You say you can't believe it. What did you make of it? Talk me through it.
Handball, simple as that. You know, we're all wondering what's going on with the handball. No one quite knows. And today's another one. It's almost like, you know, toss a coin, whichever way it's going to go. But for me, it's handball. It leads to a goal, so it should be stopped.
Has been a turbulent season for Everton. How proud are you with the way your players have managed to stay focused and got the job done, stayed up?
Yeah, very. You know, for not just the players, the staff as well, and the fans have played their part as well, which is important to remember because it's not easy. But to stay connected through a really tough season, to get it over the line, well, not just get it over the line, actually, you know, to do more than that is very pleasing.
How important is it to now carry this good momentum into next season, and what do you believe this team is capable of?
Well, it's too early to be worrying about what it's capable of. There's a lot of work to be done in the summer. We're not sure how that's going to pan out, so we'll wait and see with that. But we've certainly increased the mentality of the side and the way that's improved this season.
You say there's a lot of work to be done in the summer. I know you need a holiday, I'm sure, but what is the priority?
Well, the priority is out of my hands. The priority is the ownership, where that's going to go, and all the business side of the club. And then we'll adapt from whatever happens.
But a good feeling.
Yes, absolutely. It's been a very positive end to a very tough season, so very pleased for all.
Brilliant. Thanks, Sean. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
We'll reflect on that in just a moment. Declan Rice just passed us. You guys had a quick chat with him. What did you have to say?
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously disappointed, but I think he's quite there's a nice kind of his realism in him. You know what I mean? I think he understands the task at hand. He understands what they're playing against. He knows the quality, what they're against, the experience. And he said, listen, we're going to go again. Do you know what I mean? We've got a great manager here, but he knows the deal. But it was never going to be easy for him. I think it'll be a different conversation if you spoke to him about personally. I think you mentioned to him an unbelievable impact since coming to this football club. Personal development has been huge. Questions would have been in his own mind, can he come and perform at this level? Can he have an impact at a club of this size compared to where he's left, at playing in the Champions League? And he has. And we have not mentioned £100 million since the day that he signed for this football club.
Value for money.
Does he give them what Rodri gives Man City?
I think it's different. I think Rodri, listen, he's winning titles, he's winning Champions League. There's influence, but I think, listen, when Rodri doesn't play, they don't win. He hasn't lost, I don't know how, it's 50, 60 games, or 40-something Premier League games. He's not lost for now, Rodri. So I think he's doing something. He's operating, I think, at a different level because titles are being won, trophies are being won. And again, when he isn't there, you see the huge impact in terms of just points, let alone performance. So I think you talk about Rice in isolation and don't compare him.
We heard from Sean Dyche there, Martin. He's not happy about that Arsenal winner. Definite handball, he said.
There's a bit of wriggle room now, isn't there? So obviously if it's back in the move and the referee doesn't seem that it was really that influential in the moment, Sean will argue, we would have seen it a few years ago. As soon as it was handball, that was it. It didn't count. So they changed that slightly, and I think it was nice to see Mikel Arteta actually go to the screen and then stick by his own opinion. It's really nice to see that. It just shows you how strong a referee is. He'll be representing us in the Euros in the summer, along with Anthony Taylor. So he is, he's one of our top referees, and in fact, we'll go with it. Sometimes we're going to have to start trusting these referees. I mean, in our role, we have to be responsible. But VAR gave him the opportunity to have a look at it, and he stood by his decision.
Just going back to Declan Rice, he's one of many players in this squad. Havertz will be another one, many others as well, who've now got to dust themselves down very quickly go away maybe for a few days, reboot again, and they've got a European Championships to look forward to as well. So listen, there's going to be players like from City and other teams, probably Real Madrid, etc., bouncing into that tournament. These guys have got to lift themselves up character-wise, confidence-wise, to go in there. I mean, the energy being sapped from a day like today alone, let alone the season, is huge. So they've got to recharge very quickly and really get a shift out of this mindset into a real positive approach to a new tournament.
It may be good that they're still hungry for silverware, and then you've got the Man City players in that squad as well who are going to be hungry for even more going into the Euros, Martin.
Yeah, I mean, as we look at the summer we've got to look forward to, and we look at Bellingham and Kane and everybody else cutting it up in Europe, doing great things, and what we've got to add to that and Declan's an important part of that. He can now play in a 6 or an 8. His flexibility this year has really impressed me, the number of goals, assists. He's got a lot under the bonnet, and there's a lot more to give, and he's going to have to give more. Arsenal really pushed City to the absolute limit, but it just wasn't enough. They 16 from 18 wins. I said at that point they need to win all 18. And I wasn't a bad judge. And that's because we know what City are capable of.
Yeah, Kai, you've come so close and you did your bit today, but ultimately it wasn't enough. Sum up your emotions right now.
Yeah, I mean, what can I say? I feel sorry for all the Arsenal fans. For us, we gave our best, but it wasn't enough.
How does it feel for you as a team when you have pushed Manchester City this close? In the era that they're in, when they're doing what they're doing, they've just created history, winning 4 titles in a row.
Yeah, I mean, maybe in 2 or 3 months we can say it was a good fight, but right now I feel like we deserve more. Everyone, and it wasn't enough at the end, but we go again next year.
We've talked all season about the character that this Arsenal team have shown. Did we see that again today after you went behind to come back and win this game?
Yeah, we showed again great character. They didn't make it easy for us. Since the first minute, they just played with the time. Every throw and every ball, they take time. My opinion is, sometimes not fair in football, but we have to accept it. Football is hard, but hopefully we can go again next year and give the Arsenal fans what they need and think what they're all here for.
With everything that you've achieved this season, the performances you've put in as well, Kai, how much belief and confidence does that give you that you can go into next season and challenge once again?
Right now I can't even think about that. Just so frustrating. When you see all them here, it's tough. But I can tell them next year we're going to be even a better team. Going to be even a better team, and we're going to give everything next year again. And that's all I can say.
We appreciate your time. Thanks, Kai.
Well, Martin, it's been a truly incredible campaign. Thank you on behalf of all of the supporters for taking us on this ride. It has been absolutely incredible. How proud are you of this team?
Look, I think we're all a little bit disappointed at the moment, to be honest. I think we've been fighting so long, for the big dream, and we're so close. But yeah, at the same time, I'm so proud of the boys. I'm so proud of everyone at the club, the fans. I'm so proud of the progress we're making. When I first came here, all the way until today is such a big difference, and we've changed the club. I think you all believe in us now, and to be honest, I can't wait to come back after the break and make you guys even more happy. That's the big goal.
Well, that's one of our mottos at Arsenal, isn't it? Always forward. Plenty to take into next season, Martin.
Yeah, I think we're on a good way. We were closer than last year. But now we have to use the break and come back even stronger, even more hungry, and we're going to push to win everything.
And just lastly, Martin, you mentioned these incredible supporters, both home and away. Emirates Stadium has been rocking this season. What is your message to our incredible fans, not only here at Emirates Stadium, all over the world?
Yeah, honestly, guys, I can't thank you enough for everything you do for us. The support we have. Away games, it feels like we're playing home, and home games is just a different level. So, yeah, we can't thank you enough, and we love you so much. So thank you.
So we're done. 380 games. The last 10 finished like this. Arsenal, as I say, late on through Kai Havertz did their job. They beat Everton by 2 goals. They finish in the top 6 after all their topsy-turvy season. They beat Bournemouth by 2 goals to 1. Crystal Palace 5, Aston Villa 0. Watching the top 6 after all their topsy-turvy season. They beat Bournemouth by 2 goals to 1. Crystal Palace 5, Aston Villa 0. What a job Oliver Glasner has done. It's a hat-trick there for Jean-Philippe Mateta. They were 5 points above the drop zone when Oliver Glasner succeeded Roy Hodgson. They finish in the top 10. They've equalled their best ever Premier League finish, Crystal Palace. Liverpool, as I say, a winning send-off for Jurgen Klopp against Wolves. Luton beaten. We knew they were already relegated anyway at home to Fulham. Manchester City winning when they needed to in David Moyes' last game, of course, with West Ham. Spurs needed a point. They got all 3. 3-0 they won at relegated bottom club Sheffield United, and they are guaranteed a top 5 finish under Ange Postecoglou.
You can see all the emotion coming out after that marathon that they've just ran, basically. Fully deserved, great team, one that will go down in the history books. One that we'll all debate who's the greatest ever team we've seen in the Premier League, and they certainly come to the forefront of your mind when you're having that conversation.
Yeah, we talk about your history, you're a part of it. We talk about the Invincibles all the time, but they are out on their own now for a different reason. 4 titles in a row, and we heard Phil Foden, who's won 6 as a player, saying this one feels extra special. That was the driving force all season. Be the first team to win 4 in a row.
It was. Rodri missed some games. We talked about it before. Kevin De Bruyne missed some games, and Phil Foden was never the answer for a long time. But this year, he answered every single calls. Played high and wide on the left, 10 on the left, on the right, high and wide on the right. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. He found a way to make sure that when Kevin De Bruyne was going to come back, that the team was going to be really high. And so, you have to respect that. But again, Michael said it. You're going back to what they did is just stupid, really. To do it, it's not like you wait every 2 years and then you do it a bit after. They do it all the time. And to be able to beat City, you need to go into the mark of 90, 92, 93 or 4 to win a game. And Liverpool went even higher and City went higher. So one thing that worries me is that every time a team tries to stay with them and keep the pace, they burn their wings. Every time they implode. Have a look at Liverpool. 2 years they didn't implode. They couldn't deal with it. So I hope for Arsenal they're going to be able to stay with that rhythm, because when you follow that rhythm, it's not easy.
The connection with the fans and this team is absolutely incredible. That is thanks to you and your team. You must be so proud of your team.
All this happening because you started believing, you started to be patient, you started to understand what we were trying to do, and all the credit has to go to players, staff that is unbelievable. I think now it's time to have a break, think, reflect, and please keep pushing, keep inspiring this team. Don't be satisfied, because we want much more than that, and we're gonna get it. Thank you so much.
Well, they did something that they didn't do, or we didn't do, shall I say, for a very long time, is beat City this year. They did. They did beat City, and they didn't lose at City. They didn't concede a goal against City. That's what people were saying for a long time. You want to face City, you want to beat City, you have to beat them. Well, we did, but we lost twice against Villa without scoring a goal. Top 4 team also.
West Ham at home.
West Ham at home, but Villa. I know I'm focusing on Villa, but we lost 1-0 there, we lost 2-0 at home. So it's not only beating City that will give you the title. You have to be consistent for a very long time. And this year, I would like to say that we don't have a run in the Cup. City was playing in the Cup. We didn't play in the Cup. So I would like to think that, like I said to you, that we're not going to collapse, hopefully, because whenever a team did try to follow City for more than 2 years, the first year they collapsed. So now, what I would say about Mikel, because he's on the screen, what he did is second to none in terms of bringing the team back and having the fans believing that we can compete. Not only we can, it's there to be seen. But now consistency is key, because as Michael said before, when it's time to have that run, as they call it, the running, City, they don't run, they sprint. So you better stay with the pace. But having said that, it was a great year for us, and as a fan, it was great to be able to watch the game every weekend, knowing that we're competing for the title. Now winning and beating City, oh, I hope he's going to come with a plan. It's not an easy one. It's easy to talk when you're here, but when you're a coach, you need to come with a formula that's going to make sure that you can beat City, and that's not an easy one.
No, and Arsenal have got a record Premier League wins. As we mentioned, Thierry's Invincibles, 90 points. That's their record points tally. They've reached 89 this year. Their second best ever in the Premier League era. And it is about to get the party underway. We're going to go very shortly indeed for the trophy presentation. I mean, as a player, Gail, Michael's talking about the long, hard season there. City have had to go to the final day again. When you do it, what's the sense of relief and the appreciation when you come back out now and you're going to get the medal and the trophy?
It is, and you know, in a way, it's like a singer. A singer is creating a hit, need to destroy this hit to be able to create a new hit, to stay relevant, right? That's what City are doing. They put a team for the year who is going to show people that they are the best, and they don't rest. They come back the next year and they destroy the record of the team, the previous team. And this is important because in a way, this is what Thierry said. You can be performing so well a season, but then what's next? It's very difficult to come back. You know, again, I'm coming back to this because some players will score a brace at the weekend and then will fade away for the next 2 weeks because they're feeling themselves, and it's a beautiful game, so you want to enjoy that. Pep doesn't have time for this. I remember maybe 4 years ago, Raheem scored a hat-trick, and the following game, which was Champions League game, I think he scored one, but his attitude and his game was fantastic, and he came out and he said, I'm really proud of Raheem, not because of the performance, but because of his attitude. I watched him closely for the last two free training sessions, and his body language, his energy was still the same as the game before. This is very important because in a football, and you know, at that level, you don't have time. A week is already too late. You know, we saw Arsenal, Villa, you lose points, it's gone. Maybe this is what cost them the title, I don't know. So what they're doing, the efforts, and that thing about creating a new team that will actually destroy the previous team, for me, you can't talk about that enough.
Interesting. And as you say, the time of year, they've gone 23 unbeaten. They've just won 9 league games in a row like that, including Spurs away, when they needed to, when the pressure was on.
That's right. I don't think it's a coincidence. I mean, Thierry was talking about how close Arsenal have got and how close Liverpool have got in the past, and that's all very true. But I just think if anybody pushes them, they can keep going as far as you like. What did they, 99 or something against Liverpool when they got 97 or 98? Yeah. I mean, if Arsenal were going to get 93, they would have got 94. You know, they just, I've said it all, and they've got gears. They just kick into gear when they need to. It's almost like they say to themselves, right, lads, we're 3 or 4 points behind now. OK, we've got 16 games left, but this is serious now. They might not drop. We've got to now win every single, and they all of a sudden just do it. There is no coincidence about it. They've done it too many times now. When they want to, when they get their heads on, when they're focused, when the running starts in their mind, you're just not stopping them.
And you gave us that fascinating insight from your days with Pep Guardiola about how he drives the players. These players aren't allowed to lose that hunger. Any kind of flicker, like Gail says, he smells it and they're gone.
Look, he changes the captain every year. Keep everybody on their toes. Whatever you are, you can be a world champion or not a world champion. You do not respect what he does, you got to go on the bench or you got to leave. It doesn't matter. I've seen him stopping the training session because the rondo wasn't good. The rondo. Normally when you play a rondo, you play a rondo to have fun. It was like, I don't like the sound of the ball. It doesn't go too fast. Let's go in the dressing room. We went, no, it's okay, we're going to play. We're going to play. This is why when you used to see the rondo at Barcelona and the ball was flying, it's him. It demands perfection. And if you don't bring that, he's not happy. I wouldn't have liked Sorry to be in a dressing room early on at halftime. Trust me. It would have been, that's a team that's about to win the title. I'm sure he must have lost it because that's how he is, because he wants perfection. He wants to reach the best that he can reach for his team and then for the club. But there's something that people do not talk about a lot when they talk about Man City, rather than, you know, the money and whatever they want to talk about. When you're a manager and you have the blessing of the people above, it's vital. Sheikh Khaldoun, Ferran, Chiki, those guys, Manel, that people always hear the name, but, you know, when you have that, this is why Pep feel comfortable to be able to execute what he has to execute, because he knows that he will have time. He knows that they will be patient with him. He knows that. And when you're a boss and then you go on the field, then he is the boss there. Really, you have people above, and we all know that will take, you know, what they have to take or say what they have to say, but at the end of the day, Pep Guardiola is the boss, just like Sir Alex. The boss, sorry, just like was Sir Alex at Man United. But like I said, and you mentioned it before, if you do not train with the right intensity, you gotta go.
And that in itself, you've experienced it at City, is a test of a player's mentality, isn't it? To have those high demands day in, day out. Jack Grealish openly said he struggled in his first season at City, coming from Villa, with the greatest respect to him, with that daily intensity.
Yes, because for good teams, you need to be on it every weekend. You need to perform during games. With him, you need to perform every day, every single training session. He could wake up in the morning, sees your body language for whatever reason, and just decide to leave you out. And you were supposed to play. This is how details is on. You know, it's just, you have to live it to really understand it. And that thing that Thierry said about the rondo, it was funny because in his first season, we had that in pre-season. So he basically looked at us and he said, okay, guys, you are going to go into a practice where we do rondo. It's the most enjoyable exercise, practice that a football player will want. If you're not happy, let's go and run. So, but this is nothing, you know, it's just passing the ball, touch and pass, touch and pass. He has to be perfect. He has to be perfect.
And he's been pretty perfect. When you look at the record since 2008, 2009 for Pep Guardiola, this is staggering. In the most European leagues, 33 honours now. And next best is Carlo Ancelotti on 14.
Well, exactly that. I mean, we can laud a lot of managers, of course. Someone like Jurgen Klopp having his last game in charge today. We can laud Ancelotti, you know, the incredible job he's done at Madrid, and all the others on that group. But there's one that's just streets and streets and streets clear. I mean, do we need to say anything else? I mean, it's just incredible. Incredible.
It's obviously I was there for his first one, but who starts with a treble? He started football with a treble and winning 6 cups. He won the 6 because in Spain you don't have a League Cup. So he won 6. That's how he started. Yes, people will tell me, look at the team that Barcelona had, but he started with that. Crazy.
Real contrast in emotions from the Etihad to the Emirates, but for the first time in the men's game in the top division in England, a team has won the title 4 seasons in a row. People have tried before, back to the 1930s, great Liverpool teams, Manchester United teams as well, but nobody has done it. It is quite an achievement. It's an achievement as much as mentality and drive as skill, isn't it, Owen, to win 4 in a row?
Yeah, I think first of all, it's an incredible achievement. I think when you win 1, there's always a few in the dressing room that let loose a little bit and take the foot off the gas. No shame in that at all, by the way, because you want to celebrate. You work hard as a kid to get to that position to win. The trick is not to take your foot off the gas, because the ones that do, then they get weeded out. You know, that's what Sir Alex would have done. He said, no, we don't want one-hit wonders. You know, we want people who are going to keep doing it. And that's why you got to refresh. So to do it 4 years in a row is remarkable, because it's really, really difficult to win over 38 games. So credit to those guys. A consistency to be a champ, time and time again, and refresh the team with new players, new tactics, winning the Champions League with 4 centre-backs. Pep's the greatest innovator. And I think we've seen that. But to keep doing it, you know, we saw Doku emerge this season, Phil Foden. It's been absolutely out of this world this season. So I like that about Pep's teams. Every year they play different, but they still find a way to win.
And there's always somebody chasing them as well. It's been Liverpool, now it's Arsenal. So it's not like they've won 4 in a row, Karen, and it's been easy and no one's got near them because they've got the best players and a genius manager. There's somebody pushing, and we'll see in a second statistically, there's somebody pushing them to the wire every time.
Even if it isn't to the wire, everybody wants to beat them anyway. There's always a target on the back, even the teams that are not going to try and win the Premier League. You know, that's the hardest thing. Winning one, as we said, it's tough, but as Owen said there, it's tough to do it because of just the target on your back. Everyone raises their game 10%. And when you win the first one, you're chasing somebody else. When you're there at the top, you're doing this the whole time, looking over your shoulder. And that's the hardest thing because you know Arteta's coming, you know Klopp was always coming for you. And to just try and keep them at bay is tiring. And you've got to have that energy and that motivation to keep them going.
Let's just have a look at the statistics, because it's worth having a look at. And we've never had this in the top division in England, that you need this many points to get close to winning the title. So look, they got 100 points in 2017-18. 2018-19, they got 98 points. I mean, Liverpool were getting high 90s but couldn't win the title. A couple of seasons ago, when Liverpool got 92 points, Manchester City got 93. Now they've got 91 and they've won by 2. Basically, what we're saying, Owen, is you need 90 points to be considered. Well, Man City or whoever, Liverpool, Arsenal, whoever. You need 90. You need 30 wins, roughly.
Well, that's why they're pretty much unbeatable in over a 38-game season.
Yeah.
Because they're going to lose, 3 games? And all the other teams... What did Man United lose this season? 13, 14 or something? So for these guys in a Premier League season, they're going to lose. They might have 2 or 3 hiccups. That's it. You know, and then they're going to go on a 10, 15-game run to finish the season because they can be consistent. So I'm amazed, actually, Liverpool and Arsenal has pushed them as hard as they have. I think Arsenal finishing second is an amazing achievement. Honestly, I know people probably think I'm ridiculous for saying that, but I think they've pushed them with a younger squad, without the same depth. Wage bill is dramatically less. So I think if they can continue to improve and eventually Pep leaves, then they can probably...
They all want.
Yeah, but I think that while he's here with that group of players, I just don't think that you can beat them.
And they have an ability, don't they? Wherever, I mean, they're often not top at Christmas, Man City, are they?
No.
They're just not. They don't panic. Might be March, and then they go, OK, now we go. I mean, they haven't lost a league game since December, and they're unbeaten in 35 in all competitions. But come the spring in England, wherever they are, they just go, right, almost without saying it. We know what we need to do now. We go.
Well, it's experience.
Yeah.
You know, you heard a lot of them today. You know, we've done this final game of the season a couple of times now. We know how to do it.
To move from one position to another,
the best
which obviously comes down to the manager, but then to perfect it for the good of the team is just amazing. All goes through this man Pep who's on your screen now. The amount of times he challenges people to do better, and it's for these reasons alone. It's just amazing.
I get the reluctance when you get... Mention Phil Foden. He's won 6 titles already at the age of 24. No one's won that many that young at this stage. Let's have a look at his goals, though. Has he taken his game to another level this season?
Yeah, Phil is so unique. This goal, if you could create a more Phil Foden goal, I couldn't think of one. Receive it on his back foot, open out. 99% of players are going to go back to where the ball came from. Opens out, opens a pitch up, and smashes it into the roof of the net. Absolute clean as a whistle. The first touch and the finish. I mean, he is that's your player of the year right there. You know, he's absolutely been whether he plays wide...
Well, that's my next question. Has he shown that now he should be playing centrally all the time?
Yeah, and he's probably taken the mantle off. You know, it was De Bruyne's, and rightly so, because he was the best. But even this goal, just slows down, sits in that little pocket, passes it into the goal. You know, what he's been able to achieve and add to with his finishing this season, I'm blown away by him.
I don't think I've seen a smoother player. He's just so silky, isn't he? I know Bernardo and David Silva maybe, but I don't know, like, he's just so smooth in everything he does, and those are his stats. And I think Kevin De Bruyne said it earlier today. He's won us the league. He literally, like I said, you know, you didn't have Haaland, you didn't have Kevin De Bruyne. Gundogan, you lost a lot of players as well last season that picked up a lot of goals and assists, but this guy's gone, I'll do it for you. And at a young age, it's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to say, it's like when you're trying to get into a team, give me an opportunity. But then when the opportunity comes, to actually grasp it as he has and gone, right, you know, I could play out there, tend to be left, but actually, I'm now ready. De Bruyne is getting towards the end. I'm now ready to play centrally and I'll run the game.
It's taken time, hasn't it?
Yes.
And, you know, They always said to me, you know, you always kind of stay out wide until you're mature enough to come into that central area because it's such a responsibility. And he has had to bide his time. He's had to grow, learn, wait for other people. But you're right, he's got it, he's taken it, and I don't see him. I don't think. You think now Bernardo's gone out there and he's gone in there. Do you know what I mean? So that's even a massive compliment in itself, isn't it?
I think he can go again, Phil. I don't think he's reached his peak. And I think the reason Pep maybe had an issue with him playing century, people don't understand how quick Phil is. You know, speaking to people at the club, because he's a ball player, he's a beautiful technician. He's one of the quickest players in that squad. So when you're quick, what tends to happen is you're trying to get into those gaps. But actually, you know, I think he can go again. He's only going to get better. And to have the success he's had, his confidence is going to grow, and he's going to become even more unplayable.
You wouldn't back against him next year, would you? I'm sorry to say that for everybody who wants a different name on it, but you simply wouldn't back against them, would you?
No, again, they'll get better in the summer. Their recruitment's amazing. You know, and Pep's probably going to...
Well, there you are. Guardiola, who's really come onto his game, hasn't he, in the last
And he's a
few months?
centre-back. You know, he's been a revelation at left-back, so...
Not many players in their first season have good seasons at City. They're kind of warm and then they go on 2 or 3 seasons later and being... But he's grown and grown, and goals as well.
Haaland scored 27 goals. I was saying to Owen before we came on air, but it almost feels like he's had a fairly middling season, doesn't it?
A quiet 27.
But it feels that way, doesn't it? Last season when he scored 40, you were like, wow, Haaland's extraordinary. This is like, all right, he scored 27, but, you know, he's been missing a bit. You were thinking... If he scored 27 goals and he's been quiet, I mean, what are the... You know, it's limitless what he could be potentially next year.
Just because of what he did last season, though, isn't it? You know, when you set the bar. But he was fit all season, wasn't he? And available. And like you said, it's just when you've given everybody, showed everybody your levels. But he probably would have got there. But he has missed a few, hasn't he? We were speaking off air, and sometimes a little bit uncharacteristic, but it's not bad, 27.
Not bad at all. So 6 titles in 7 seasons for Pep Guardiola and for Manchester City. And, of course, at the start of that run, on his bench, one of his assistants was, of course, Mikel Arteta, who said after the game at the Emirates today, I thought this was a really good quote, Owen, "No one needs to tell me what we need to do. I was there at the beginning." In other words, I've sat on the City bench. I know how good they are. So there you go. There he is with his wife. And last season, they were in a great position. They collapsed in April. No collapse this season. They've dropped 5 points this calendar year. They've dropped 5 points so they're 1 defeat and 1 loss this year. They know the standards. He looks pretty rueful, but it must be a very different emotion to this time last year, surely, a much more positive emotion.
Yeah, but you can tell he's a winner. I'm sure deep down he'll be really proud when he goes home with the family and they sit and reflect on the season and what they've been able to build. Not yet achieve as such, because they haven't won the trophies yet, but I think they only need one more step. And now he needs backing, Mikel. I think Eddie's done an amazing job in the market, you know, getting the right players in at the right prices. Declan, even though he costs a lot of money, he made them better. Now they need a deeper squad. Now they need a centre-forward. Now they need a left-back. Now they need another central midfield player. But I trust him, Mikel, and I love the speech that he gave at the end. He wasn't smiling. It was all cheerleader stuff. It was, "We need you. Thanks for being patient. But we're going to get there." And I believe him. I think they will. They just got to stick with him for a few years, build the squad up, and they're going to win some trophies.
I mean, you played at Arsenal, you know that. I thought the fact they all look really distraught, I think, as Owen says, is a good sign, is it? None of this, you know, we're happy runners up, we've done well here. It's like, no. But my question is a simple one. Is this now the hardest step? He's taken them from out of Europe to the edge of the Champions League, to into the Champions League, to almost winning the league. Those are all big steps. But is this still the biggest yet to come, to go from second to first?
Yeah, I was just going to say silver to gold is sort of second to first is the hardest, because to go from there to there is a big jump. You can make that, but that bit is the toughest, because, like, what is it? What is that thing that's going to get? Is it a centre forward? Is it actually just that we're a year more experienced? Is it that we've just got to believe a little bit more? You know, that we don't lose to Aston Villa when we're at that final push, we keep going. So he said in his interview, didn't he, "I'm going to go away and reflect." And that's probably the right thing to do. But there's no question about it, they'll push, and I think they'll push even harder next year.
Absolutely.